Hey, it's Saturday! Guess what? It's time for the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast!
Every Saturday at 11 a.m. EST, we talk about love, faith, and godly relationships.
Just search for Beautiful Marriage Garden on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe.
Even married couples can learn a lot. Tell your mommy and daddy to watch too.
See you every Saturday at 11. Beautiful Marriage Garden, where love grows God's way.
Hey, it's Saturday! Guess what? It's time for the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast!
Every Saturday at 11 a.m. EST, we talk about love, faith, and godly relationships.
Just search for Beautiful Marriage Garden on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe.
Even married couples can learn a lot. Tell your mommy and daddy to watch too.
See you every Saturday at 11. Beautiful Marriage Garden, where love grows God's way.
Hey, it's Saturday! Guess what? It's time for the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast!
Every Saturday at 11 a.m. EST, we talk about love, faith, and godly relationships.
Just search for Beautiful Marriage Garden on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe.
Even married couples can learn a lot. Tell your mommy and daddy to watch too.
See you every Saturday at 11. Beautiful Marriage Garden, where love grows God's way.
Hey, it's Saturday! Guess what? It's time for the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast!
Every Saturday at 11 a.m. EST, we talk about love, faith, and godly relationships.
Just search for Beautiful Marriage Garden on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe.
Even married couples can learn a lot. Tell your mommy and daddy to watch too.
See you every Saturday at 11. Beautiful Marriage Garden, where love grows God's way.
Welcome everyone to the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast. It's a great privilege to see you this and every Saturday. If you are here, you might want to share the link with another person. Invite somebody to this stream. We're here to talk about love, relationship, and everything in between. So yes, we are happy to have you here. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Mary.
And today is another interesting segment of our Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast. We are very excited to have you here. If today's your first time of joining our live stream, we might want to introduce ourselves to you. This is the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast, where we have real conversation rooted in biblical truth, practical wisdom, and honest experiences. Whether you are single, married, engaged, or trying to consider yourself a relationship, this is the right place for you. So our mission here is to help couples and individuals to live God glorifying lifestyle by equipping them with the biblical tools for effective communication and conflict resolution. Also, we are here to provide a nourishing ground for couples to grow in unity and purpose. And we also offer practical advice, prayer support for singles preparing for marriage. And we are your hosts. My name is Dr. Mary Agronah, and today here with me is my own husband, Dr. Michael Agronah, to share with you based on life experiences, age-long learning, and all the experiences we've gathered throughout the year. So we began a series on healing from past relationship, and the series which we started. This will be our third live. So this is episode 3, is to help people who are hurting from broken relationship to recover so that they can start a new relationship with courage and confidence. Also, we are here to support individuals who have witnessed abuse in their homes. It could be a neighbor, a parent, or any other person in their environment who have experienced abuse. So we are here to help them get out of this past bad experiences, and also to help them heal from every emotional wound and scar these experiences might have brought to them. And as a result, we also want you to also be here. If you've not been in a bad relationship, you want to be equipped, you want to be empowered, you want to be ready to help others. So this series is also for people who seek to help others who have gone through a relationship breakup in the past. So we welcome you this morning. Join the conversation. Share the link to as many as possible. Invite your friends and loved ones to come, and don't forget to subscribe as well. So today we have the third episode of the series, Healing from Past Relationship. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thank you. I want to welcome all our audience. And one good news for our audience is that today we are streaming both on YouTube and on Facebook.
Yes.
Previously, we've only had the chance to stream on YouTube only, but today we've been able to stream on both YouTube and Facebook platforms. So definitely reach out to your friends who might find this useful. Let them know that this is happening so that they can benefit from it. I am going to be sharing with you something that is really key on my heart. And once I share that, I'll take a little time to share that, and then after that, we'll open the forum for questions. I know a lot of people have questions. People have asked us questions outside this meeting and so on, and we want to take time to address some of these questions as much as possible. So if you have your questions, um, from past times we've spoken on this subject, just pull it up, and we'll make this more of a Q&A forum. But before we do that, for the sake of those who might be joining this series for the first time, this episode, the series for the first time, I will just do a quick rundown of what we've covered so far. So, Mary, is it okay if I share my screen now?
Definitely you can.
Okay, let me do so. Um, in a second.
Definitely.
Okay, I am sharing. Can you
Yes.
or our audience prompt me if they can see my screen clearly?
If you can see, I can see your screen. If you're online, you can see Michael's screen. You might put on the chat. Yes, that will help us.
Yeah. So can you just pin me send a message saying yes, I can see, just so we know we're on the same page, and then we can carry on. Mary, I can see this the chat at the moment. So if you do see any, yeah, just prompt me, and then I'll keep
Definitely.
going.
I will do that.
Okay, awesome. Okay, if you join us, just give me a quick yes in the chat if you can see my screen, so I know that we are on the same page.
But I think you are good to go.
You think so? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we have we started this series looking at how to heal from past relationships. And I was talking about the fact that often when people are hurt from a previous relationship,
Mm,
they sometimes want to cover up. They sometimes want to, I mean, pretend as though they're okay, everything is okay, and they can move on and so forth.
mm,
Now, I mentioned that the danger of doing that is that you are only storing up the wound for later to resurface later in the future. And then, coupled with that, is the fact that just covering up doesn't bring healing. Instead, you raise the chance of meeting somebody who is actually the right person, because you'll be viewing people from the lens of the past. So we said that covering up is not the way to go. It's important that hate have to be dealt with. Now, there are two approaches we mentioned that people use when dealing with hate. The first is the blame approach, and that takes two forms. One, the person is blaming him or herself, and that's the first image you see here. The person saying, the person is blaming somebody else. That's the first image I've shown here, where the person is saying, "You are the cause for my hurt. You are the reason that I'm hurt." The other strand of the blame approach is when somebody is blaming him or herself. And basically, this is in the manner of blaming yourself and saying that, well, there's something wrong with me. Why is it that all my friends are getting along very well in their relationships and I seem to be struggling? Now, we said in practice, people often blame others more than they do blame themselves. But the point is that either blaming yourself or blaming someone else isn't the way to go, because blaming doesn't help you to see the way forward. Now, instead, you want to take the responsibility approach. That approach simply says, I agree I messed up, I agree I did something wrong, but what is the way forward? And we say that in that we said to in order to assume once you assume this posture, there are three things to do. One, you've got to do an assessment of the situation that you find yourself in. Two, you have to pick out key lessons. And three, you have to carve out future direction. So today I'm going to focus on one aspect of the future direction. Now, we also mentioned that in terms of taking responsibility, it's important to realize that you contributed to the hurt you are feeling today. You had a role to play, and just not being transparent about it doesn't help. So admit that you went in to date whoever you dated, and you had a hand in the fact that you are hurt today. Now, assessment, we've said that basically assessment has to do with reflection. You're reflecting on what happened actually. And we said to do that effectively, you need to get yourself a book, you need to get yourself a pen and a quiet space. We really want people to get healed and move on to the next relationship free of hurt and pain. And we said the next thing you need, which is paramount, is an open heart. You've got to be honest with yourself. If you're hurting, you're hurting. If you caused it, you caused it. Whatever happened, happened. So just not being honest about it is not going to do any good. Now, once you have gotten yourself a book, a pen, and then you've gotten yourself a quiet place and you have an open heart, this is the exercise you'll be doing. There are questions that you've got to unpack, address. The first of which we said, you have to gain understanding. How did you even get into this relationship in the first place? How did you meet this person? How did the relationship start? What really happened? Because that is going to give you a great understanding of why you are at the place you are at the moment. So I'll run this through very quickly. We touched on this a couple of times the first time, and then last week we also took these questions and we looked at example response from somebody who was who experienced a broken relationship, and we discussed where the loopholes were, what should have hinted this person that no, this is a no-go area, but the person for some reason turned a blind eye. So we had that discussion where we showed you in reality what somebody's story was. So I'm not going to spend time going through all these questions, but we mentioned that if you want, we have a we have a document with all these questions and sample answers from somebody. And if you want a copy of that, you can just pin us a message on My Beautiful Married Garden. at gmail.com, and we'll forward you. We have a copy for men, a copy for women, and then you can have both copies and see how it looks and how somebody's experience has been and learn from that. Okay, so I'm just rushing through that. Please definitely feel free to ask a question. If you are coming in for the first time, you want me to throw more light, definitely ask during the question and answer session. Mary, do you think I should run through the questions quickly, or should I just? I feel like we've touched on this for two.
Yes, I
So
think we should zoom straight into today's conversation.
okay, great.
And I've also posted the Gmail on the screen, my beautiful marriage garden at gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you. So the third second part, we said once you have done this assessment, you have to pick out what are you learning? If you are not learning from the past, then you should not be going into a new relationship, because you end up repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. And we also tackled the person's response to what they learned. I believe one of the lessons they picked out was not to get into a relationship in a rush. Okay, so again, I'm just moving through to help me lay the background for what we're discussing today. Then the final part was what then? What's next? So now I know I gotten a good assessment of what happened, and I also have picked some lessons. What next? And I proposed for you a couple of things. The first was seeking counsel, and that is what I'll talk to you about today. I'll try and spend maybe 5 minutes addressing that, and then we'll open the forum for questions from all angles with regards to this topic. So because that's what I'm focusing on, I will just move on and then come back and zoom in a little bit. So, seeking counsel was the first we spoke about. We spoke about the need to join a support group, a Facebook community, and of course, a healthy one that have a sound teaching and a sound environment. And we talked about church groups and so on, because there are people who've experienced the same thing you have experienced and have come out of it, and it is just reasonable for them to share with you how they overcame, and then you can also get some clues from that. Then we talk about the need for consistent prayer and meditation on God's word. I mentioned that physical hurt, it's much more easier to heal compared to emotional hurt, because you can readily get medication to heal yourself physically, but when it comes to emotions, it takes time. Sometimes the wound emotionally is so deep that it could take years to heal, and that is where prayer and meditation on God's word is paramount. The fourth thing we spoke about is the need to get an accountability partner, somebody you can open up to and ask the person to help check up on you. So that's where we have been so far. Today, I'm going to focus on seeking counsel. And as I said, I want to make this very brief and snappy so we can ask questions. So let's jump on to today's talk. Now, the main scripture that we will be basing on is this scripture from Proverbs 11:14, where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. I know that there are many people who have had very negative experiences as far as counseling is concerned. And because of that, they just shut down. They don't want to seek anybody's counsel. They want to do things all by themselves. So that's one reason some people don't want to seek counsel. The other reason we found why people don't want to seek counsel as far as the journey of relationship is concerned is because some people really don't understand what counseling is. In their mind, once somebody's counseling them, they take that to mean the person is intruding into their privacy. So they want a private life. That's their private issue, and nobody should have a say about that. And then the third reason we've seen is that some people interpret counseling as dictating. So for them, once they get a counsel or an advice, they interpret that as though, oh, you're choosing for me. I'm old enough to make my own choice. At least I'm more than 18. Why does he think he can choose for me?
Hmm.
So these are three main reasons. And of course, the last one is pride. Pride, where somebody, a single person, believes they know it all. So I know how to make a good home. I know how to choose a spouse. Come on, leave me. I know what I'm doing. I have it under control.
Interesting. And you see, Bible considers pride as the one of the major hurdles that can cause the fall of man. So if you think you know it all, even God, who is all knowing, is always working in collaboration with man. So nobody is an island. We don't live alone. We need each other. So I think it's very important that we get that straight and we get that right. Please
Mm,
continue.
yeah, that's a good point. Let me probably mention upfront to our audience that when it comes to choosing a spouse, it's very unlikely that you can find a good spouse through prayer alone
Yeah.
without the input of somebody.
Mm.
It's quite unlikely.
Yeah. Prayer
So
does work, prayer helps, but Jesus said, watch and pray. And part of the watching process is to speak, to get in touch with counselors, people who can help you make strategic decisions. It's I think, as we mentioned the last time, when people are going to buy uh, something like a car, they
mm,
do their due diligence, they do research, they go to check the right people who can help them to find the right car, who can, like, they research. But whenever it is time for a relationship leading to a lasting marriage, for many young people, which we have all been young before, it is even done in secret. Nobody knows.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's a dangerous one. If your relationship is secret, right from the word go, not a single person apart from your friends know about your relationship, you might be doing something wrong. You might be heading uh, towards a dangerous path.
Yeah.
But I'll come back to this. And I wouldn't veer. So I mentioned three reasons why some people object to counseling. One, they feel counseling is just people are just using that to intrude into their privacy. Two, they feel they've got it or they have it under control. And then three, they interpret counseling as being dictating for them. So, what I'm going to do for you at this time, I will explain what counseling is, how to view counseling, and then how to choose somebody for counseling. Now, not choosing the right person for counseling is also going to cost a lot of pain.
Yeah.
So that is the part I want to really emphasize on. If the people who counsel you are your friends who are also dating and having a hard time in trying to figure their way out, that's the best counsel they can give you.
It's like a blind man leading another blind person to cross a ditch.
Right, right. And it could even be a married person who is having a tough time in love. I was sharing with a couple of friends when I was thinking marriage. One of the things I did was I began asking some married couples that I knew. I asked a simple question. So, is there no way, no system
Hmm.
to help people choose the right marriage spouse? And I was amazed. One of the men I asked, he's been married for some years. His firstborn, as at that time, was, I think, 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. And he was very, I appreciate his honesty. He told me that if he had the chance to choose a spouse again, his current wife will not be in the picture.
It's interesting, but that's a decision he had to deal with for the rest of his life.
And I was amazed because from the look of things, I mean, there was nothing wrong I could point out wrong with
Hmm.
their marriage. I see them at church. They were looking good. They were smiling. And so that kept me thinking. But years down the line, the marriage collapsed.
Hmm.
So if I'm seeking counseling from such a person, you can imagine the kind of counsel I'll get. It will
Hmm.
be from the experience he's having in his marriage, which is unpleasant. And
Yeah.
that's where he'll be counseling me from. So I'll also be talking about how to take counsel. You shouldn't be taking every counsel. You should know how to um, sieve the counsels you receive and pick the best that suits you. So let's get on quickly. Okay, I think I got that messed up. Okay, great. So what is counseling? Basically, counseling is that process
Hmm.
where somebody who might be a little bit more experienced or more exposed than you is asking you questions to help you see things in a better perspective.
Hmm.
So basically, if you are looking at something, maybe you are assessing your hurt from the past breakup, chances are you might either be too hard on yourself
Yeah.
or too soft on yourself, or you might be very biased. You might be just passing blame and responsibility on others and not taking responsibility. Or let me give another situation. If
Yeah.
you are dating today, maybe the butterflies in your tummy are so flying, very active, so much that even there are clear red flags, and you just, oh come on, you're just in love, and you're blinded by love, and you can't see. A counselor is not blinded by love. They can tell you, hey brother, this thing you are handling, it's is a viper, or
Yeah.
this thing you're handling is going to mess you up on the way.
And
So
the fact that those butterflies they don't fly forever. If you ask the married couples, they will tell you that it doesn't take long after marriage that these butterflies fly probably wherever they go. I don't even know.
maybe they fly up the skies, right? Or they fly to get join and meet, enter someone else who is in love. Your love is getting outdated.
Mm,
Okay, so that is what counseling is. Now, because of that, anybody who is counseling you, who is insisting you must take the counsel they are giving you,
mm,
you should watch out.
mm,
Yeah, you
mm.
should watch out. Anybody who is giving you an advice, and if you happen not to take the advice, they are mad at you, they are angry, they are being very pushy on you taking what they tell you necessarily. That is a little bit of a concern, because a
Yeah.
counselor's role is to guide you to see the big picture so
Mm.
that you can make an informed decision.
Yeah. And I think counselors don't, they are like they give you the prescription. They don't put the medication inside your mouth. So
Right.
if you know you are allergic to paracetamol and counselor gives you paracetamol, you don't swallow it because it's coming from counselor. That's just and giving an illustration of how you accept the counseling as good as it is for you. But if you know, that's why you should always sieve every information you hear with the word of God.
Awesome. Awesome. So that is what counseling is. So what that means is that let us not interpret counseling as somebody intruding to our privacy
Yeah.
or somebody trying to tell us what to do. It's just a harmless approach to helping somebody see from a better perspective. How do you take counsel? Like Mary has rightly said, you don't want to take anything you are given because you respect the person or because you hold the person in high esteem. No, even the person you hold in high esteem could be wrong sometimes. So
Yes.
go back and cross check whatever they are telling you from
Hmm.
the scriptures to make sure that it aligns appropriately with the scriptures.
Hmm.
Now, let me now talk about, and for if you wanted a reference for that, you remember the Jews from Berea, Act chapter 17. Whenever Paul did teach them something, they would go back
And search
and
from the scripture.
cross check what Paul said to see whether it was true. And that is a personal responsibility every one of us must take. Whatever counseling you get, you have to go back and verify that information to make sure that you're getting the right information.
Okay. And Michael, before you continue, if you just join us, welcome. Today we are streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. This is the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast hosted by Dr. Michael and Dr. Mary Agrona. We are a Christian couple who are interested in helping others live God glorifying lifestyles, including your relationship. On this series, today happens to be the third of this series. We are looking at healing from past relationships. So welcome, contribute to the conversation, send in your chats, let us know you are here. God bless. Michael, please continue.
Great, thank you. So, how do you choose a counselor? Please, this part is so important. If you choose the wrong person for counseling, chances are you will not get the right results. Now, you don't necessarily need a professional counselor or somebody who is doing counseling and so on. Okay, dear, can people confirm again if they can see our screen with a
Yes.
yes? Because somebody just prompted me that our screen isn't working as
Okay.
correctly.
So if you are on the live stream, can you put on the chat yes if you can see our screen?
Yes, people should just, if you're joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, please send me a quick yes in the chat to notify us if you can see our screen. I just got somebody prompting that the screen wasn't working. Okay. Should we take silence to mean people can see
I just checked and I could see the screen.
the screen? Okay, then
Yes.
let's,
Yes, I
okay,
could find a couple of yes,
a
yes in
couple
the
of
chat.
yeses. Okay, good,
Yes.
good. Thank you. So the person who just messaged to tell me the screen wasn't working, please double check your screen. Probably something you might be missing from your end.
Yeah. I've had a
Now,
couple of yes from both Facebook and
and
YouTube.
YouTube, awesome. How do you choose a counselor? Here are a few things to consider. Number one, choose somebody you are willing to open up to. This is paramount. If somebody's the best counselor in the whole world and you went in and you are not willing to open up to the person, that would do no good.
Hmm.
Somebody you are comfortable to open up to. Because what counselors do, a lot of the things counselors do, we do that on the basis of the information you give us.
Yes.
So many times, one of the difficult parts of counseling is that you hear from somebody who's telling you, oh, this is how the relationship went, and he wasn't being honest or she wasn't being honest. And they are many times they tell you part of the story.
Yes.
And and as a counselor, you have to think through and look beyond the words and dig into the and try to see what the person is not saying.
I think one of the challenges with that is that usually people are shy, I must use that term, to
Mm,
share everything. So for example, if I'm going through a challenge and I come and I sieve the information and I tell you what you want to hear. Okay, thank you all for confirming that you can see our screen. God
okay,
bless you.
great,
Thank you.
great.
So if I sieve the information and I give you half information, you will treat me according to half information. We
Mm.
have health workers, nurses, doctors, some are even online here. So if I go to the doctor and I could feel palpitations in my heart and I tell him that I have headache, I'll be giving painkiller for headache. I will not
Mm-hmm.
be giving the right medication.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody you talk to, or even all of us on this line, we are potential counselors. We need to make sure that we receive the adequate information. He tells you, oh, he did this, he did that, he did that. She doesn't tell you that he went and slapped the guy. That information is hidden.
Right.
He tells you, she said we should break up. I haven't done anything to her. He didn't tell you that she visited you and you tried to have intimacy with her against her will. So
Mm.
receiving the information doesn't help in getting the appropriate help you need.
Awesome, awesome. And we've dealt with a lot of that. People saying, my husband is more treating me, he's throwing me out. And then we say, oh, why would husband do that? But he's a nice man. And then you approach the husband and and to chat about it. And it's like, oh, your wife actually went out and cheated and was having an affair? Oh, come on. But she didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Right? So please, if you are seeking counseling, whoever you choose as your marriage counselor or your relationship counselor, let it be somebody you are comfortable opening up to.
Yeah.
And so, because of that, throw away shyness and
Yes.
be transparent. If you know you are the cause, be plain. I caused it. I insulted him. That's why he got upset. Or I caused it. Um, I lied to her. That's why she got upset.
Hmm.
So that in the attempt to help, you can get the best help as possible. So if somebody you know it might be able to help you, but you are not willing to open up to, then no need choosing that person, even if they are a
Yeah.
very good person.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody's related to maybe your mom or your parents, and they're a counselor, and you have fears that if you discuss some details with them, they might talk to your parent about it, and you have that concern. If that consent still remains, then that will prevent you from opening up. So just don't choose somebody you are not willing to open up, because at the end of the day, the conversation wouldn't help.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things I always tell people, if you want to get the right medication for your problem, make sure you list all the symptoms.
Mm,
Don't hide some. Nobody, only God sees our hearts.
right.
In fact, for even a doctor, before they can know exactly what is going on with you, you need to do a couple of tests. So you are seated on your fire. You know how hot it is scorching you. If you decide to give sampled information, you
Hmm.
will get sampled help.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is very paramount. Somebody you are willing to open up to. Second thing to look for in deciding who you are seeking counsel from. And I know particularly people from some cultures, people don't keep information. Before you share one information and you turn your back, it's become a new
It's in the
thing.
news.
So that's unfortunate,
Yeah.
right? That's unfortunate, but that shouldn't prevent. If you've ever experienced that in your life, I do sympathize with you, but that shouldn't stop you from seeking counsel,
Yeah, but
because the
Lawa, I
value,
want to give a clue.
a clue,
when
right?
when somebody comes to tell you, I'm coming to tell you something, person ABC told me, that person said I shouldn't tell anybody, that person cannot be trusted with any other information. The same way, when you tell them your information, they will go to person two and tell them, you told them and you said you shouldn't tell anybody. So if they can't keep person A's information, they will definitely not be able to keep person information. One of the key things we do as counselors is to be able to be confidential. People
Yeah.
should trust us with the information,
Mm.
and we should have grace to keep things, not to publicize things. Yes.
Mm, mm. I wonder if any of our audience have ever experienced this sort of situation in their lives. If you don't mind sharing the chat, maybe you went for a counseling session and it turned out very, very unpleasant and negative. Please send a message in the chat and let us know your
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, not only counseling, if you have opened up to somebody in the
That's
past
right.
and you heard the information from another person, you can also put that in the chat. But I think it's something we all need to work on. We are all excellent. God has not given us that spirit to make us live our lives anyhow. Integrity is very important. We should be people who are not mediocre. Our lives should just come with this certain standard, so that if person A is looking up to you, they know that they can pour their heart to you without you coming to say it to another person. That is not good enough.
Mm. And then, so we've spoken about somebody you are willing to open up to, and the part I'm going to talk about is somebody who is experienced.
Mm,
Now, for all of us, we can break the kinds of relationship we have in our lives in general into three categories. In every part of your life, there are people who are in a way higher than you by virtue of the fact that maybe they are older or they have more life experience
mm,
or they know something you don't know yet. Then there are people who are peers. They are of the same level as you. They are people you interact with. They are facing similar struggles and challenges. And then there are people that you know more than. So they would take them as people who are lower than you. Lower than you, not as in not inferior to you, but you happen to know a little more than they do. So think of those three classes of people. One group who know a little more, the other group they know equally as you do. And then
mm,
the third group, they are people that you know a little more than. In every area of your life, either career wise, finance, um, marriage, relationship, particularly when it comes to relationship, when you are seeking counseling, your first point of contact should be those who know a little more than you. The reason is that there are many things people who know a little more can see readily that it might take you so long to discover. Sometimes people introduce themselves to us as dating, and then sometimes I see the flaws, I see the loopholes, I see that clearly this thing is heading towards a collapse.
mm.
But for some reason they can see it. They are so
Yeah.
so happy about the
Yeah,
relationship.
in love. Love is blind,
And I'm like, I'm thinking, oh, come on, can you not see that this is going to end soon?
They say love is blind, so they cannot see.
Please, if love is blind, then don't love at all because nobody wishes to be blind. Right. So it's important that you choose somebody who knows a little more. Now, the third thing to mention is that not only should the person know a little more, the person should also have a track record.
Yeah, yeah. It
Assuming
is very, very important.
right, I was going to give an example. Let's say you went to the hospital to do a major operation, a
Mm,
major surgery, and then the doctor came in to work on you, and he says, "Hey, you are here for this operation, the surgery," and you respond by saying, "Oh yes," and I'm praying that this turns out well so that I don't lose my life. And the doctor says to you, "I'm also praying so. This, in fact, this is my first time. I've never done this before, and so we are all together in this soup." And then the doctor goes to bring a very big book, and then this book has drawing, and it says, "Okay, so the book says you cut from the down
you
first."
should run for your life.
I'm sure you'll be so excited and say, "Oh, I have the best doctor who's going to
No.
work on me." You will be quickly saying, I think I'm at the wrong place.
Yes. Yes.
So, even though the doctor might have knowledge acquired through their study, they haven't experienced, they don't have a track record of carrying out that major operation.
Yeah.
So, not only do you want somebody who's been married for 10 years, you want somebody who's been married for 10 years and enjoying their marriage.
Yes.
Not only do you want somebody who's been married for 5 years, because people like to pass on their pain.
Mm.
So please, at least you should know one person in your life in the whole world who is married and enjoying their marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Recently, I read a post. I don't know whether it was Japan or China. A couple that the man had given the wife the silent treatment for like years, more than 10 years. So they live
Wow.
in the same house. Outside, you might think that they are happy, but he has been giving her silent treatment for over a decade. So we should know that marriage itself is an institution you receive certificate with before entering. You go to the school of marriage where you have to apply the certificate you have earned. People go through a lot. So it's better we start from the right source. It's better we start right. And that is why this podcast is very relevant, not just for people who are trying to get married, but even those who are currently married.
Awesome. If I were choosing a counselor and I have the opportunity, I would visit their home.
Yes.
I'll visit just to see how the dynamics in their home works before I say, okay, well, can you counsel me? Right. So I'm going to end this. I said I was going to spend a few minutes, but it's good. Is we've had Mary putting her input in, which is very, very paramount. But to recap, seek counsel. That's the main thing we are saying. If you are hurting today, you are starting a relationship, or you are even in the process of getting married,
Mm,
make sure you definitely have somebody, at least one person in your life who you seek counsel from. Now, this person must be somebody you respect and you are willing to open up to the person. Don't choose a friend who is struggling, a friend who is equally is trying to figure things out. There isn't much you can gain from that. Then two, we said that choose somebody who knows a little bit more than you do. And three, choose somebody who has good track record. Of course, even the counselor themselves are not perfect, but at least some track record is needed. And then let me add the fourth one, choose somebody who values and fears God and,
mm,
and have a good understanding of the scriptures, because otherwise you only be getting um, let me say human philosophies, and it might sound good, but the practicality of it often isn't there. So I'm hoping that this is opening up. Now, if you've ever chosen a counselor, or if you've ever chosen to open up to somebody and it didn't go well, chances are you might have been missing one of these points. You didn't fully open up, or you chose somebody who wasn't more experienced than you, or you chose somebody who was more experienced but didn't have a good track record, or you chose somebody who didn't value God and told, he's maltreating you, just drop him. He's your husband, but don't just leave him. Well, then that person cannot be said to be somebody who honors God, because they are giving a counsel contrary to the scriptures. So Mary, I think I would end this conversation here. I thought we could use a lot of time for questions, so I think
yes.
we still have some time
Yes. Please.
used for that.
One more time, this is Beautiful Marriage Garden Podcast. My name is Dr. Mary Agronah, and here is my beautiful, no, not my beautiful, my handsome husband,
Ah, come on, you almost
Dr.
called me beautiful.
Michael Agronah. And we are your hosts today, and we are sharing about healing from past relationship. And today we're focusing on seeking counseling. And based on the interaction discussion we've had today, you could see the importance of seeking counseling in this thing called relationship. Please, if you have any question, comment, do not hesitate to post in the chat, whether you are watching us from Facebook or from YouTube. post your questions, comments in the chat, and we will respond to it as soon as we can. And we know there are people watching us from all over the world. I can see people from Europe on the line, people from Ghana, from Canada. So we have quite a diverse audience today. We thank
Mm.
God for that. And share the link to others, to your friends. People will find this stream very important. And I know this stream is important, whether you are single or you are married. So we will be looking on the chat for your questions and comments.
Right. So question and answers at this point. So please keep your questions coming. We want to spend some time tackling some of the questions that people have.
Yes, and even as we wait for your questions to come, one of the things I want to say is the fact that where there is no counsel, there is bound to be mistakes. And
Right.
even though we might not trust everybody around us, somebody will say, ah, even in some part of the world, marriage counselors are divorcing and all that. We know that that is a possibility that marriage counselors can divorce. They are humans, and that is why they themselves need to work on themselves. We work on ourselves each day, but it is better to have a more experienced person advising you than not to have any. And also, one of the things that makes counseling important in relationship, especially before you get married, imagine the person you are dating that has no one they look up to. So the
Mm.
woman doesn't respect anybody.
Right.
Nobody can stand in as her counselor. The man doesn't respect anybody. Nobody can stand in as his counselor. Nobody advises him. Nobody advises her. They are on their own, running their own life. You are in for a big trouble. We are not saying something happened, but should something happen, this person will listen to nobody.
Right.
So you will have to bear the heaviness of all the things they will have to pour on you. So it's very, very important at this point. If you are yet, even if you are married, it's important you have fathers and mothers in the Lord who are able to advise you. Even if you married 50 years ago, there's always somebody who has higher amount of experience to you. Don't say, "Oh, as for me, I know, I read books." No, no, no. It's good to read books. It's good to
Right.
listen podcasts and to watch podcasts, but it's very important to have counselors. Mike, if you want to add something.
Oh, you've made the point so clear. The importance of having counselors is paramount. Even in marriage, like you mentioned,
Yeah,
that situations that comes in marriage that you would have to seek somebody who your spouse respects or
yeah.
honors, and that most times it's sometimes is the way to go. Um,
Yeah,
Maybe
and
one
I,
of
I want to read. We have a question here. Before then, so
okay.
this question is from Kweku. He says, in opening up and telling your story, how do you avoid putting forward a one-sided story, which can lead to biased information and bad decision?
That's a great question, Kweku. That's really great question. Now, the start of how. So I'm going to mention how. The how starts from within. That's the first point.
Mm,
You must make up your heart or prepare yourself that I'm going to be as honest as I could. If you are giving your interpretation of how things went, it's okay, you might get it wrong. But as long as you are starting with a heart that is open and honest,
mm,
that is the beginning. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm sharing, let's say on this platform, I'm talking to somebody about what is happening here. And then, so listen to my conversation. Hi, Eben. Eben, I'm on Zoom. I'm I'm live on stream now when we are having a conversation about relationship. Can you imagine? Can you guess what? I'm the only one doing the conversation all throughout. And in fact, my spouse, Mary, is not talking at all. I don't understand what's happening. Now, you see that already my posture is is wrong.
mm,
But if I'm saying to her, oh, we are having a good conversation and I'm doing a lot of talking, Mary's adding up and so on, even if I get things wrong in that context, having a genuine heart is going to help in being in giving the right information. So that's number one. Number two, as much as you can in giving counsel in seeking counseling, don't give interpretations in your submission.
Hmm.
Just give the observations and then let the counselor work with you to give interpretations to the things. Let me give you an example. I'm holding a pen here. What do you see?
A
You will
pen.
say, I see a pen. So when you come to a counselor, tell the counselor that I was in the relationship and I saw that he was holding a pen. But don't say, I was in a relationship and I saw that he was writing. No, you didn't see him writing. You saw him holding a pen, right? So based on that holding a pen, then you and the counselor can work your way through, okay, what could holding a pen possibly mean? Probably he's writing.
Yeah.
Huh. Or as in I saw him chatting with this other person, and this is the line of conversation I saw him have.
Yeah.
Now you can think through, but don't just quickly jump. He was cheating. Come on, what happened here? Well, it might be, might not be. So give the information without adding your interpretation, and then work through together with the counselor on what the implications or the interpretations of the information you have observed and seen might be. Love, I don't know if you want to add in it.
Yes, yes. I think I just agree with you 100%. Just give the observation. Don't be in a hurry to add your own interpretation. There is a story I read about some time ago that a lady going dating a guy, she didn't even know how the guy has saved her name on his phone. So I think the guy has saved her name as my one and only, something like that. And the guy was making a call to her, and the lady's friend was around. So the lady saw the guy calling my one and only. This friend didn't know that the guy was calling my one and only, who is the friend, and called the guy that the lady that I saw your guy. He has another lady saved name saved on the phone as my one and only. This lady came, didn't even ask, started fighting with the guy. She ended her relationship with before she got to know that she is the my one and only.
Oh, that's sad.
So this friend's call was just a one side of the story. She could have at least asked the person she was dating, "Oh, I heard you have a number saved as my one and only," and the guy was, "Oh, of course, that is you," and show it to her. So even as we try to tell our stories, we shouldn't try to make ourselves look
Look
good
good, right?
and paint the others black, as though as for them nothing good could come out of them. We saw from last week's podcast that we all contribute to this thing. When it doesn't work, we all have a role to play. So when we are telling our stories, we should be very careful to be bringing what we see, not what we interpret from what we see. So if anybody has comments, oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Adade. We love you all the way from Norway joining this.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Awesome, awesome. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Any questions? I think we're getting to the point of wrapping up, but if
Yes.
people have questions, I think we can do one more question.
Yes, we okay. It's 12 our time. It's 4 p.m. GMT. It's 5 p.m. WAT. It's 6 p.m. I think East European time. I don't know if we have time to stay longer, but we want to appreciate all of you who
Right,
joined the stream today. So we this is our third series episode. So the first two episodes you can watch on our YouTube channel. You type Beautiful Marriage Garden. At Beautiful Marriage Garden you find us. But from today moving forward, we'll be streaming on both YouTube and Facebook the same time you logged on to every Saturday. which is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. GMT, and the rest. So God bless you all. We are very excited to have you online today. And I believe that this stream has been a blessing to you.
Yes, we thank you for joining. We want to encourage you. Please share this with friends. There are many hurting that need to hear this. So feel free to draw the attention of people in your inner circles. Let them know. We have some other things coming up. We'll announce the title of the next series to you in a couple of days. And we will also be telling you when we're having the prayer session for on towards healing. So that would also be an announcement that will be coming up. We'll post on YouTube and also on Facebook. So definitely reach out if you have any information. Until then, we see you next week, same time.
God bless you so much once again. We are happy to have you here. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, Beautiful Marriage Garden, subscribe. On Facebook, we are still Beautiful Marriage Garden. Today, we are streaming on my personal Facebook profile. We're looking forward to be able to stream on the page as well. So God bless you for coming. Take care. Have a blessed week. May the Spirit of God favor you. And whoever is going through any relationship challenges, we pray that God Himself will show you mercy. And as we are learning from us, may God Himself give you wisdom on what to do. Much love from
Much
Canada as
love,
well.
much
You've
love.
made us miss Norway.
No, yeah.
Greetings to
Okay.
everybody in Norway. Greetings to everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of the day, and we see you next week.
Bye, everyone. God bless you.